So phytoplankton grow. So they have to grow, they have to reproduce. And in order for them to be able to do that, they need these things that we call limiting resources. Okay? And limiting resources, those are anything that when they are in short supply, they limit the growth of the phytoplankton. So they are limiting resources. Okay? So anything when it's in short supply limits the growth of the phytoplankton. Phytoplankton have two limiting resources, light and nutrients. Those are the two things that they must absolutely have. If they don't have either of those things, they cannot grow. So they need light and nutrients. Light is found in the photic zone. That's the top 200 meters of water. Okay? So you find light in the top layer of water. Below those 200 meters, you're going to have the aphotic zone. That's where there is not enough light for photosynthesis. That makes up the majority of the ocean. Okay, so aphotic zone. The depth of the photic zone will change depending on the day and the conditions in the ocean. Okay, so we say 200 meters, okay, but in reality that's going to be a little bit different depending on where you are and some of these factors. So particulate matter like dirt and phytoplankton in the water actually absorb the sunlight, or like dirt can reflect it back, which prevents the light from going as deep into the water. So those kinds of things can reduce the depth of the photic zone. Also, seasonal strength of the sunlight. So during the winter, when there's not as much sunlight, okay, we have less sunlight throughout the day, and the sun doesn't even go as high into the sky. You have less of a photic zone than you do in the summer. The weather can also change it. So on a sunny day like today, okay, this photic zone will be deeper in the water than it would be on a cloudy day. Does that make sense? All right. Bless you. So here's just a reminder, different wavelengths of light penetrating different depths into the water. Okay, the other limiting resource that they need is nutrients. So light and nutrients. They need nutrients as fertilizer in order to grow and like do photosynthesis. They also need things like so nitrogen and phosphorus to grow. They also need things like iron in order to do photosynthesis, and other things like silica and calcium. Nutrients are located mostly in the deep sea, below the thermocline, past 200 meters in the water. And the reason for that is the thermocline acts like a barrier and traps nutrients in the deep sea. And when things die in the ocean, where all of the nutrients are located in dead things, when they die, they sink down to the bottom. Okay? They decay, nutrients get returned back into the water, but the thermocline acts as a barrier and keeps it down. All right? So phytoplankton are in a little bit of a conundrum. They need light and nutrients. The light's located at the top of the water. The nutrients are located in the deep. What is a poor phytoplankton to do? Because they need both. Well, the way that they actually deal with this is they live in places where you get upwelling, okay, or places where the thermocline breaks down for some reason. So when the thermocline breaks down, that allows the nutrient-rich deep water to come up. So phytoplankton live at the surface where now you have sunlight and nutrients. So you can have lots of phytoplankton growth. Does that make sense? So here's just a picture to help you see the location of nutrients. The green line across the top, that's the thermocline. So lots of nutrients underneath there, less up at the top. Okay, so you need mixing in order to break down the thermocline and bring those nutrients up. All right, but we're going to stop there today.